stop playing games, guys. I need somebody to step up and be an alpha. Be somebody to be a leader. Don't make me do it. I don't want to do it. They put certain people between you and the officers that are making things happen, and those people are like lawyers, and they don't want to say anything, and they don't have the guts to come up and be alpha and be like leaders. Somebody isn't communicating. There's nothing being released. It seems like they're trying to suppress the story. We want to put rewards out. They're like, don't do that. Yeah, I get it. Your town doesn't want to have reward posters posted all over when you come and you do your rush. You're not going to get a lot of students if they see those things.
For my fellow parents, would you even consider allowing your child to go to an away college in which the college cared more about its own reputation than the death of 4 of its own students? Or would you rather them go to a college that was plastered with rewards and missing persons posters showing that it actually gave a shit? Let me know in the comments. Hey guys, it's Jules here with True Crime Reactions. Today's video is going to be some news clips that have been released that the family of the Idaho 4 victims have done over the past few days. There's a lot of very interesting new details in some of the fragments of their interviews, and that's what we're about to go over. I have some thoughts on some of this, and please wait until the very end, because at the end of today's video, the 2 $50 gift card winners are going to be announced. Good luck, everyone.
At 3 o'clock on Thursday.
They need to sign a waiver form so that they could investigate something.
Some mail.
That was mail related.
So according to this, the last time that law enforcement has contacted Kaylee's family wasn't about an update, but to get an authorization form for Kaylee's postal mail to be looked into. I've seen some comments that weren't quite sure about what this meant, so I felt the need to clarify.
Just have no information as family, and it's tough day after day after day. I mean, every day you just wake up and think today's the day. We're going to hear something, and you see these, oh, there's a break in the case, and it'll just be something stupid.
The 6th person on the lease that was never there. Stop playing games.
You can hear their frustration. They're tired of being told that something important is breaking, and it's a big nothing burger. They're tired of not getting any updates from law enforcement that are pointing towards who actually did this. And this is a common feeling amongst the parents, which you'll see later.
They have told us that it was targeted, but they told us they can't tell who. We asked specifically, and they said, we'll try to get that information to you. And they got back to us a day or so later, and they said, we're sorry, we can't give you that information. But then a day later, we saw in the news that it was not targeted. Or they think the whole house was targeted.
Yeah, the back and forth with this one specific word has caused a bit of an uproar in the public. So I can imagine that the families have had to have gone through quite the emotional and mental roller coaster with all the back and forth that law enforcement has done with who or what could have possibly been the target here. I would much rather have law enforcement, in my opinion, just come out and stated that they had no idea what was going on, that they were working on it, they were trying to put the pieces together, but they were clueless. Then have all this back and forth go on.
Their means of death don't match.
Maddie's,
they don't,
and Kaylee's.
Their points of damage don't match. I'm just gonna say it. It wasn't leaked to me. I earned that. I paid for that funeral. I paid for that. It's my right. You ain't taking that from me. If you don't want to say nothing, that's your bet. But don't say I'm leaking anything. I paid that bill. Sent my daughter to college to get an education. She came back in a box, and I can speak on that.
So this is where we find the bombshell news that apparently the injuries between the 2 girls, even though law enforcement are claiming them to be quite similar, don't match. That means they were attacked in completely different ways while laying next to each other in the same bed. That could mean a lot to this case. And it's apparent that Kaylee's father doesn't appreciate the fact that law enforcement isn't taking this detail and doing more with it. I understand. Brian Enton actually came out late last night and verified this information.
That Kaylee Gonzalez's injuries were significantly more brutal than her best friend Maddie's injuries, which may end up being a very, very important piece of evidence when it comes to determining who the target was in this attack. Kaylee and Maddie were in an upstairs room in the house, so the killer had to go specifically upstairs to get to them.
Significantly more brutal. That means something, doesn't it?
We know nothing about that whole phone call. We've asked. We don't really know. I mean, we've heard so many different things, and nothing has been clarified or been told to us at all.
I understand law enforcement not wanting to release the 911 call or even any of the actual details of the 911 call to the public. But why so much secrecy with the family?
I reached out to friends down in California today that have connections that we're hoping to raise some money to get a reward, to get a private investigator.
Third party. When you tell me you don't want a photo up there with the reward offering information, that kind of sounds like you're trying to suppress the story.
He says it again here, that the college and the community seems to be suppressing the story and not doing what's right by these victims. Does this not sound like another case that took the world by storm? It's ridiculous that at week 3, they already feel like they need to raise money for a private investigator. And the fact that no one's wanting to offer a reward for any information for 4 deaths that need to be solved, that's really confusing.
They've said the entry point was the slider or the window. It was in the middle floor. So to me, he doesn't have to go upstairs.
This is what we had all been assuming. Now it's verified. This matters for more than one reason, and we'll get to that later.
His entry and exit are available without having to go upstairs or downstairs. He chose to go up there when he didn't have to. But there's a different person to just the communication, and that guy's sitting with the lawyer, and that guy's sitting there telling him, you got to protect things that are beyond the case, like the town and the community and the college itself.
And here he mentions this yet a 3rd time in just 2 interviews. The feeling that this is being suppressed and not done correctly due to the reputation of the community and the college must be very strong with him, because he has been really adamant about feeling that way.
I do not feel confident, and that's why I push the envelope and say a little bit more.
And are also now attempting to hire a private investigator.
Yeah, I would say not in the immediate circle by any means, but a few of the names that have been circulating around, I think it's hard not to kind of, dig into this. And I don't know how much of that is just because we have so little information from law enforcement and how much of it really is, a sister or a father's intuition.
Now, this is her answer when Brian Enton asks if there's anyone around them that knew the victims that suddenly have a change in behavior. And I'm not sure if they actually are trying to insinuate that there are people who are having behavioral changes, or it's just leading into this next statement.
I just feel like there's been a couple individuals that were cleared very fast. That may not, maybe shouldn't have been. And yeah.
We've all questioned this, why everyone who had been around the victims that exact night and could have possibly had something to do with this were cleared. If I remember correctly, the ex-boyfriend, the guy at the food truck, the roommates, everyone that was there during the 911 call, everyone that was there whenever 911 actually got to the house, and the driver from that night were all cleared in a week.
She had the strong alibi.
Just really fast.
You can dismiss.
An hour later, and we're like, what? And I don't know. I don't know anything about those individuals. I just know they were people that, definitely should have been looked at. And
what would prevent you from sharing somebody's alibi?
Yeah, I think that's what we're struggling with.
This is something else a lot of us have been wondering. Most of the time in these cases, the alibis are given to us in some way, shape, or form. Even if not full detail, something of the alibis of the people that are suspected or involved in the case is usually given out during a press conference or a press release. But we've heard nothing about any of their alibis at all.
Have the police been helpful to you, Kara, to understand some of the things they can and can't say?
Honestly, no. They haven't said anything. I learned more on the news and on TV than they have said to me.
Xana's mother also feels as if law enforcement's not doing their job correctly. It's really pathetic that the families of the victims have to get the updates from social media and the TV instead of where they're supposed to be getting it from. And also remember, we still have about a 5-hour gap of time for Ethan and Xana that we have no details about.
I may be candid in saying this, but I think that they were at a bar. Their father conveyed to me that he thought that they were at the bar at that night. So, yeah, I mean, that's what college kids do on the weekend.
So this is just speculation, but this is also possible. I didn't have that kind of college experience, but I know people that did, and several of them had fake IDs and would get into bars all the time in the college areas. I'm unsure where a former tenant originally spoke out to after Xana's mom makes a very emotional statement about how she doesn't quite understand how their surviving roommates didn't hear anything, attack-wise, or with Murphy possibly barking because something was going on in the home. But News Nation does apparently have information from a former tenant that used to live there back in 2019 regarding how the sound works on that floor.
In 2019, he moved out. He said he could never hear anything on the second or third floor. If the television was playing very loudly on the second floor, he might hear it from the first floor. But Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen on that first floor may not have been able to hear anything, according to the prior tenant, who said it was extremely difficult to hear because of the construction of that house.
I'm gonna have to finish the rest of this video with my commentary being a voiceover because I'm having some issues with the front-facing screen on my phone. So, that as of today, December the 5th, because most of this was recorded yesterday on the 4th, there's been an update on the official website regarding Murphy, because Xana's mom also mentions how she doesn't understand why the surviving roommates did not hear the dog barking. Now, there are rumors that a neighbor is claiming to have heard the dog barking. I don't believe that that has been officially released anywhere and is just something going around. YouTube possibly saw on a social media post somewhere. I'm not quite sure. If anyone knows where the originality of that rumor or statement came from, if you let me know in the comments, that'd be great. But on this updated information as of today, it states the following when it comes to the dog. There have been numerous requests about the dog found at the residence on the morning of November 13th. Arriving officers entered the residence and found the deceased victims. During the search of the home, a dog was found in a room where the crimes had not been committed. Officers did not find any evidence on the dog, and there was no indication the animal had entered the crime scene. The dog was taken into animal services and released to a responsible person. While the dog was in the house when officers arrived, it had not been determined where the dog was physically located when the murders took place. Now, according to all of the mainstream articles, including the New York Post, the responsible party who took Murphy home is actually Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, Jack. When it states that the dog was found in a room in which the crimes were not committed, does that mean that the dog was behind a closed door? As if whoever had done this had purposely placed the dog behind a closed door in order for A, their barking to be muffled, and B, for them to not get in the way? That's interesting.
Her father mentioned to me that he had just went and replaced the lock the weekend before.
So then that's the lock on her own bedroom door, not the lock to the outside of the house. That's her own bedroom door's lock?
The main lock he was referring to. I'm not sure, just from telling me that.
So right here, Xana's mother is stating that her father told her that he was up there fixing a doorknob on the house the weekend prior to the incident. She believes that what Xana's father is referring to is the main door of the house, which, with this being a college community, you would assume that that would be something that the landlord would do, but maybe it was just something that needed to be done, and since he was in the area, he just went ahead and did it. Now, with Kaylee's father saying that it's been verified to the families at this point that it was the second floor, most likely sliding glass door or a window on the second floor that was the entry level, I'm wondering if this change of lock might have actually changed the entry point to the house. Because we don't know if whoever this is might have had previous entry to the home from the main door prior to this lock change. Or it could really just mean absolutely nothing, especially with the new information coming out about how much more severe Kaylee's wounds were. A lot of the public speaking on this case are starting to lean towards her being the one that was the target. But that's also extremely interesting because wasn't she not even supposed to be there that night? Didn't she go back there like on a whim, spur of the moment, just because she wanted to show Maddie her brand new car that she just bought? And she was moving to Texas because she was graduating at the beginning of this coming semester. So all of her things were pretty much already out of the house. That's why most people are stating that it's not strange for them to have been found in the same bed, even though they are best friends, and probably after a drunken night, they probably would have just ended up laying down together and falling asleep in the same bed anyway. But if all of Kaylee's furniture was out of the home already, then of course they were in the same bed. But it's strange that if her being back was a last-minute decision and she wasn't supposed to actually be there, was she the target? And is that why her wounds were so much more severe? Or maybe the person that was there took some aggression out on the fact that they were surprised by her presence? It could kind of go each way, just depending on who actually did this. Another update they did today on the official website was regarding the stalker rumor when it comes to Kaylee. Well, the updated file states, using tips and leads, investigators have identified an incident involving Kaylee at a local business, which may have been the stalker reference she made to friends and family. In mid-October, 2 males were seen inside a local business. They parted ways, and one male appeared to follow Kaylee inside the business, and as she exited to walk towards her car, the male turned away, and it did not appear he made any contact with her. Detectives contacted both males and learned the 2 were attempting to meet women at the business. This was corroborated through additional investigation. Based on available information, detectives believe this was an isolated incident and not an ongoing pattern of stalking. No evidence suggests the 2 males were involved in the murders. So yeah, maybe this instance was just mentioned to someone who mentioned it to somebody else, who then went back and said something to Mark Furman, and y'all know how the game of telephone goes. Yeah. As I end this recording at 10:30 p.m. on December the 5th, I have not found another single official update to give you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get the generator pulled up, and let's get those 2 $50 gift card winners announced. Okay guys, so this is commentpicker.com, and I am going to paste the URL for the Quentin Summon video in here. And then I'm going to hit filter duplicate users, and to remove the winner from the list, since we are picking 2, 8 plus 7 is 15, get YouTube comments, 120 unique comments. Okay, so now we're going to go down here. Let me see if I can move this over some. Okay, yeah, I'm using my phone. My screen recorder is like really skippy. Okay, so start. First one is Kevin Havens! Hey, look, good thing you love gift cards. Good thing, huh? Okay, let's see. Awesome, awesome. Congratulations. This is so fun. This is cool. I want to do more of these, guys. This is fun. Pick another winner. Noelle? No, Noelle. Do you think the reason why they aren't charging Billy Joe is because she helped them? I did see this comment, and I think I hearted it, and yes, probably so. So what I want you to do is comment in this video whenever you see that you have won. I'm going to see the comment, and I'm going to reply to you with my email that I want you to email me at in order to receive your gift card. I'm not going to use the email that I have on this account because I think everyone can see it. I'm going to give you a different email, and as soon as you reply back to me that you have the email, then I'm going to then delete my email from the comments. I shouldn't even be having to worry about somebody faking being one of you guys to get one of these gift cards, but humans are crap, and that's just the reality of it. I'm gonna make sure that the emblems match and that the profiles match what I've seen before, because at this point I've gone and I've looked at your comments and I have looked at the profile, and it has to match what I've already seen, and I have screenshots saved so I know what I'm looking at. And yeah, I'll give you the correct email to email me at, and I will get you your gift card. Congratulations, you guys. This was fun. We're going to do this some more. See y'all.